History, history, and more history! As you well know, Syria is one of the most historical places on earth. When we left off last video, we had reached up to the medieval era of Syria. And today, we'll be taking it from the medieval era, or Al-Qurun al-Wusta, through the Ottoman era, or Al-Qurun al-Uthmaniyya, and all the way to modern history. Welcome back to Speak Real Arabic, everyone! And today, we are looking at a brief history of Syria, part 2. If you have not checked out the first part yet, go to the link in the description to get caught up before you jump into this video. Oh, and also give that subscribe button a push while we're on the topic of clicking things. Alrighty, let's just jump right into the video. So, last video, we left off with the Rashidun army, or Jaysh al-Rashidin, conquering Syria back from the Byzantine, who was led by Khalid ibn al-Walid. And thus, Syria joined the Islamic Empire, or Al-Imperatoriya al-Islamiyya, in the mid-7th century. The Umayyad dynasty, or as we call them in Arabic, Al-Umayyun, or Banu Umayya, placed the capital of the empire in Damascus, my hometown. During this time, the Islamic Empire expanded very rapidly and reached from Spain all the way to India and even some parts of Central Asia. And it was one of the most prosperous times for Syria. During this time, many castles and mosques were built, especially in Damascus, Dimashq, and Aleppo, Halab, and also in Homs. In the 760, the Abbasid dynasty, or Banu al-Abbas, we call them, took over the empire and moved the capital to Baghdad, which, as you know now, is the capital of Iraq. During this time, Arabic, or Al-Lugha al-Arabiyya, became the dominant language in Syria, replacing Greek and Aramaic, all Al-Ighriq wa Al-Yunani. Over the following few centuries, because of its strategic location, Syria changed hands quite a few times actually, going between the Tulunids, or Al-Tuluniyun, to the Ikshidid, or Al-Ikshidiyun. A prominent figure during this time in Syrian history was Sayf al-Dawla, translated as the sword of the country. He protected the Levant area from the Byzantines, who tried to recapture it as their own. Throughout much of the 11th century, Syria was in a lot of turmoil because it was basically a battleground between the Haddanids, or Al-Hamadiyin, and the Byzantines, the Fatimids, Al-Fatimiyin, because of, again, its strategic location. The turmoil continued until, between 1175 and 1185. Syria, at that time, was taken back by Salah ad-Din al-Ayyubi, one of the most famous historical figures of all times in that area. And he was actually the founder of the Ayyubid dynasty of Egypt, or what we call them, Al-Ayyubiyin. Now, it is important to mention here that during the period and between the 12th and the 13th century, parts of Syria were held by the Crusaders, like the Christian Crusaders. Like, for example, the Principality of Anitok, or what we call it, Imarat Antakya, the county of Tripoli, or what is known now as Tarablus, in Arabic, Tarablus, and the county of Edessa, or in the Arabic, Al-Raha. The Crusaders are famous for having built the Grac des Chevaliers, or Qal'at al-Husn, which I mentioned in another video talking about Homs, so maybe you should go check that out as well. It was an extremely important medieval castle, or Qal'a, in Homs, known as I said, Qal'at al-Husn. So, during the turmoil between the Ayyubiyin and the Crusaders, the Mongols bravely swept through Syria. I know, so much history. However, they quickly withdrew, prompting the Mamluks of Egypt, or what we call them al-Mamalik, to invade and conquer Syria. The Mamluks managed to eliminate the last of the Crusaders, and they took over all their footholds in Syria, and they even repulsed several Mongol invasions. I don't know why the Mongols wanted Syria though much. I don't get it. Okay. From there, we move on into the Ottoman era, the longest dynasty to rule over Syria by far. The Ottoman Sultan Selim I, or Selim I, conquered most of Syria after the historically infamous battle of Marj Dabik. That's what we called it, Marj Dabik. The Ottoman, or in Arabic Al-Uthmaniyun, then went on to hold Syria from 1516 for nearly 400 years, all the way to 1918. Can you believe that? Insane. So the territory of Greater Syria, or what is called Syria al-Uzma, included, it was modern-day Syria, Lebanon, Palestine, and some parts of Turkey and Iraq as well. So Syria stayed under Ottoman rule until World War I, or Al-Harb Al-Alamiyya Al-Ula, when the French and Arab soldiers actually banded together, reclaimed Syria, and officially joined the League of Nations, which was like one of the earliest versions of what is now known as the UN. During the French Mandate, Syria and France negotiated a treaty, or Musalaha, Treaty of Independence, in September 1936. But it did not really come to fruition until after World War II. It was exactly 17th of April 1946. Since that time, Syria went through various coups d'etat until in 1970 it was ruled by Hafez, and following that Bashar al-Assad to this day. And that's pretty much, and very briefly, the history of Syria. This was very fun for me to do. As you know, by now I'm a bit of a history geek. Thank you so much again for watching, everyone, and I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts and comments. You know, things have been a little bit history heavy lately on this channel, I know. But don't worry, moving forward, I'll be shifting a little bit more towards the arts, music, drama, maybe some painting. So, as usual, don't forget to like, subscribe, and, let me know what you want me to talk about. Once more, I'm Ozzy from Damascus, Syria, and I will see you all next time on Speak Real Arabic.